Transport workers had to fight for their rights before trade unions even existed. Throughout the 18th century, seafarers protested against cripplingly low wages. As protection from Royal Navy press gangs, northeastern seafarers demanded a National Seafarers Association. Protesting brutal punishments, sailors at Spithead off Portsmouth became the first workers in Britain to fly the red flag as a symbol of political revolt. The need for a maritime union was clear. A Seamen's Loyal Standard Association was founded when Combination Acts banning unions were eventually repealed. The seafarers' first trade union appeared in 1850, with 3 more in as many decades. In the same period, workers of the new railway industry joined the battle for representation. As rail networks spread, so did workers' unrest. The first recorded railway strikers were enginemen and firemen on Britain's first passenger railway, followed by labourers on the Great Western and then the Glasgow and Ayrshire railways. The first railway strike called by a named organisation was in 1848, the year of revolutions across Europe. Within a few years of each other, porters, goods guards, shunters, clerks and pointsmen had walked out on 3 major rail networks. Labour unrest fed demands for improved labour organisation. In London, 3 specialist worker societies formed within a year. These small organisations provided high-cost insurance for members who were sick or on strike, but sticking plasters weren't enough. Workers needed a lever for change. Workers from many rail companies met at the People's Hall in Holbeck, Leeds, demanding a rail workers' union. A week later, a 200-strong meeting launched the ASRS. Days later, the society held its first mass meeting. At the behest of the Great Western Railway's general manager, a fraction split from the ASRS to form a new craft union, ASLEF. Another craft union was founded for pointsmen and signalmen. To increase wages for skilled labour, craft unions divided skilled and unskilled workers. Rejecting this craft elitism, a general railway workers' union championed new unionism for semi-skilled and unskilled workers. A prominent seafarers association, the Sunderland Union, created a new national amalgamated union for seafarers, the NSFU. For rail bosses, trade unionism for clerical workers was a particular concern, since they had access to vital commercially confidential information. Nevertheless, clerks formed their first national association by the end of the 19th century. By the early 20th century, dockers' leaders founded a National Transport Workers' Federation to unite dozens of diverse transport unions. In 1911, Britain's first national rail strike brought 5 unions around a table to discuss greater unity. 3 merged to found Britain's first industrial union, the National Union of Railwaymen. The new NUR expanded further when a National Union of Railway Clerks joined their ranks. Seafarers opposed the leaders' cosy relationship with shipping bosses, formed a seamen's minority movement to revolutionise NSFU's policies, structures and leadership. Rival seafarers' unions were squeezed out by ship owners' powerful partnership with the NSFU, soon renamed as the National Union of Seamen. Many black trade union activists teamed up with the SMM to fight discrimination and racism in Britain's merchant navy, establishing a colonial seamen's association. When NUS members were jailed for strike action in 1960, union militants launched a national seamen's reform movement in 1966, leading the first national seafarers' strike since 1911. 2 decades later, when NUS members took strike action against the P&O Shipping Company, a Tory government used the new anti-union laws to freeze union bank accounts, leaving the NUS facing financial ruin. After 167 workers lost their lives in Britain's worst post-war workplace disaster, North Sea energy workers formed an offshore industry liaison committee. A financially weakened NUS agreed to merge with the NUR, 2 unions whose members had worked and fought alongside each other for 150 years, united to become the National Union of Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers. OILC was the most recent union to join. Today, the RMT is Britain's largest specialist transport union.